Hi, what it do, fellas? It's your boy Goon, aka John Rivas, and yeah, today is more of a story time, personal type video. So today, July 27th, marks 3 years since I lost my biggest motivator slash mentor slash supporter. Like honestly, all in one, like father figure, mother figure, everything you can think of. This person was that for me, and that was my grandmother. For those of you that don't know, yes, my grandmother passed away 3 years ago, and today marks the third year, and I'm gonna post this video today too. But I just find it crazy. It's been 3 years since she's been gone, and that's some shit like, you would think, okay, as time goes on, like, it feels better, you heal. But then at the same time, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, today, out of the 3 years, that, like, it's been the anniversary, I don't know, today just, this year at least hits the most, hits the biggest for me. Because I just find it crazy. It's been 3 years since I witnessed her die, which, I seen it there. A little bit of backstory. Not to go too crazy and personal, but she died from cancer, had multiple different types of cancers, stage 3, stage 4. And in June of 2023 is when she got discovered brain cancer, a tumor in her brain, and then from there it went downhill. She spent in the hospital her last month. It was what, a month and 2 weeks, if I'm not, no, a month and 2 days. Sorry, a month and 2 days in the hospital. She was in the hospice for her last 2 weeks, and then but the rest was in the hospital emergency room. And yeah, I just witnessed her pass away. The day she passed away, wasn't the easiest day. In one way, I was relieved because, granted, she was going through so much stress, so much pain and all that with the cancer and every other type of injuries and stuff like that she had. So it was like, now I know she was able to rest, not deal with no pain. But then yet again, it's still sad to see one of your loved ones go away. So yeah, like I said, 3 years ago, I witnessed my biggest reason to keep fighting and going forward in life just pass away. And honestly, I remember that day. Like, I remember before that day happened, even the doctor said it, like, yo, pretty sure she doesn't make it past today. And like, apparently she had 7 seizures that day. I was there for one of them, but she had more. We had left the hospital because it was between me, my mom, and my uncle. It would always rotate, so it was like, it was our time to, like, go home real quick, shower, rest up a little bit, and then come back. But then on the way back, like, literally we were like 5 minutes away, and then my mom calls me and she's like, yo, like, she's gone. She's crying. She's like, she's gone. I'm like, damn. And we're literally 5 minutes from there. We was just running the red lights, all that. And then boom, like, we get there, body's cold, she ain't breathing no more, and it's like, that shit just hit me. I remember at the time I was living with my dad, but I was staying in New York for that month, and I remember that I texted him like, yo, like, I asked him like, oh, like, what's he doing? Remember they were having like some like party whatever here in my crib, and I was like, all right, like, just want to let you know my grandma died. He asked me off Australia, like, yeah. He was gonna say if you want to pick me up, I'm like, nah, don't trust me. He still came pick me up, but I remember that day. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to die too that day. Realistically, I wanted to die too that day because, like I said, it's my biggest reason to push forward, keep going forward. And that day, I remember when I was sleeping before she caught her first seizure. Like, I remember before I fell asleep, I'm like, damn, like, God, like, my grandma will go away too. Mind you, for those of you that don't know, probably nobody really knows this, at least on the YouTube space. I was raised with my grandmother. Like, I was never raised by my parents, neither my parents, my dad. I started being raised by him in 2019 when I moved to Jersey. But up until from 2005 to 2019, I was being raised by my grandmother. And like, yeah, my mom was here and there. Dad was there financially. I'll see him like a couple times a year. But yeah, that night, like, I'm not gonna lie. After everything that happened, I remember I had told everybody, get out the room real quick. We just had a moment. And I held her body. Her body was cold. I'm not gonna lie, her body was cold, and I was just holding her, and I'm like, damn. I literally wrote it down because helped me, like, be able to say everything, granted. But I remember I held her body that day, and I made a promise to myself and to her that up until the day I die, I'm gonna keep going forward. I'm gonna keep pushing, no matter what I take on. I'm gonna give it 100%, and until the day I die, I'm gonna try to make as many stories as I possibly can. So it's kind of my biggest motivations and reasons why I've stayed consistent with the content. Like, it's been 2 years. I haven't had the results I wanted. I've tried other business models, played fucking football in college, and it's like, first of all, for me to even play in college, that was incredible. Not that many people do it. It's only a small percentage that go from high school to college. And mind you, I only had 1 year of varsity, 2 years playing. But that night, like I know, like that shit hit me. And I remember, like, I made that promise, and I was like, I know she won't be able to date. Like, she's above and she's witnessing it, but I want to tell her how it was. Because there be times nowadays, like, before she passed away, me and her would talk on the phone every day, without fail, every day. Like, it would be rare, like, alright, one day I probably wouldn't talk to her, too busy or whatever, but every day I made sure to call. The most I would go without talking to her was 2 days. Like the other day, like, let's say I called her Monday and called Tuesday, Wednesday, I guaranteed call her. I always was talking to her. So it's like, yo, we would always talk. I would always go to hang out. So then it felt weird, like nowadays, like, now that I'm an adult for real. Even though, yeah, I'm still learning. I'm a young adult, 21. But it's like I'd be like, damn, like there be so much shit now that I'm grown up that I want to talk to her about. That it's like I don't get the chance to do it no more. Cause granted, she passed away. And it's like sometimes I just look up to the sky and have a convo with her. But it's like there's things of life that I'm like, damn, like I low key want your opinion on it. Like me dropping out of college, like I remember, like she always wanted me to like go to college, get a career. She wanted me to follow my dad's path, which is become an electrical engineer. I mean, I'm on the process of it. Like I have the licenses and all that. That's gonna be something I'm gonna start pushing forward to after I get back from my trip from DR. But she was on go that path, but she just wanted me to be successful in life and make money. And mind you, this lady, when I tell you, she was a fucking jack of all trades. She was a nurse back in Puerto Rico. She's had multiple businesses. I remember fucking helping her with some of her businesses in the crib or even in stores and shit like that. My grandma's always a businesswoman. She always had money flowing. Like I ain't gonna lie, like that lady always had money flowing. Mind you, she wasn't working since the day that I remember. That I was born. That I can remember. She's never worked a day in her life, or at least a job. She was always hustling and get her money how she could. So then that's literally where I get my principles and values from because she's taught me a lot of lessons. Mind you, I was too young to understand them. But now that I become older, it's like I realize like, damn, she's taught me a lot of fucking lessons and valuable lessons. Like she would know how to make money, get money, and multiply that money. Like I would see her fucking flip a band and make it 2, 3 bands. I would see her get a fucking product and fucking sell it, no problem, bro. Like this lady, I was so surprised. Like now that I'm older, it's like these are the type of convos I would like to have with her. Like telling me really more about it. When I was a little kid, like we're little. Like what the fuck do I know? Like oh yeah, selling. Like I remember there was times I would go to like the store. I had to work with her. It's like it would be Friday. I just want to go home play GTA, but then I can't because I got to be at the store with her and shit. And then locking up the business. Like as a little kid, it's like damn, like what the fuck, bro? I don't want to be here. Honestly, when I was little, I wanted to play GTA, but then now it's like I'm older. I'm like damn, like she was trying to put me on game, and I was just so like arrogant and shit that I couldn't even see it. But it's like, for example, this tattoo that I got. I don't know if y'all can really see it. Let me really show you. Let me flip the camera. Like this tattoo and shit that I got, it's literally a piece dedicated for her. So to explain it to you, the eye is her watching over me. The time is time till the time is on the day that she died, 7/27. On top of that is she's watching over me. The death is that death is guaranteed, that we'll reunite in death, and then the time until we meet again. That's literally what my tattoo is. It's a deep meaning tattoo. It's a deep meaning tattoo. Like if I were to tell you, oh yeah, bro, let me just if I were to tell you, yeah, that's from my grandma. Like there's been people that looked at it and be like, yo, like how? Once I explain it to get it, I do plan on getting another piece right, like a Spartan warrior back there, cause she was a fucking dog. Like 10 years fighting cancer. Like, there was other family members and people that we know that got cancer and died within months. She lasted 10 years, which was incredible. And then I'm gonna also get her name. Marina always watches over me. On the side, hopefully, if there's space. And then when I get like a New York style tattoo on my other arm, I'm gonna put like the 718 because that was the start of her number, and I fuck with that area code. But yeah, that was my next, like that's my tattoos dedicated to her. Like that lady raised me. Like everything that I have, principles and all that, it's literally because of her. It feels like yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like yesterday that she just passed away, and it's like every time I play it back in my head, like being in that hospice, being in that hospital emergency room, shit was no joke. Like I was there at night, like there between me, my uncle, my mom. I was usually there from like night all the way to morning slash afternoon. My uncle was there with me at night, but then he would have to leave in the morning to go to work. My mom was like afternoon, but then at the same time, my mom had all my siblings and all that in New York. Like, sometimes she would last on. So there was times where I was in the hospital 12 hours, 16 hours. I would go home to try to sleep, and even then I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even sleep. I also had like other things going on, but couldn't even sleep, and I'll fall asleep like an hour or two, and then get up, and like then make sure my siblings. It was my twin siblings, and my other brother, and my baby brother, and like my baby brother, he was too young to comprehend, but my other brother and the twins, like, oh, I was always asking about the grandmother, and like I just had to play it up, be like, oh no, she's good, she's gonna come home soon, and then like take him to the park, take him here, take him there, mind you, like to make sure their mind wasn't on it. But yeah, like that shit was hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, like. I sometimes relive those days, and it's like I wouldn't even recommend it to nobody. And then being in those hospitals, as it is, like you seeing the person you love, they just laying there, body like can't really move. They gotta put the oxygen tank. They gotta move her. She can't eat. She can't do none of that. Like I ain't gonna lie, that destroys somebody completely. And I'm not gonna lie, like I wouldn't wish that on nobody. But like I said, she was really someone that taught me a lot of valuable lessons in life. I was too young to understand them, but now that I'm older, I'm getting them. She was a great lead by example type of person. Like for example, like I feel like that's why I'm so like, all right, like fuck the normal path. Like I know I can make my money through businesses and all that. Like that's somebody that really pushed me with that. And no matter what I did, like to kind of like wrap it up here. No matter what I did or tried, she was always rooting for me. She was always rooting for me. When it was football, wrestling, bodybuilding. I mean, I was a little bodybuilder at first. Like our joke used to be, oh, through me, fisiculturita. Like I'm her bodybuilder, and like that used to be our joke. So every time I would go, I would like show off my muscles, be flexing. I was just sending pictures, videos, flexing, legs, arms, back, chest, everything. And like she would always see so happy and shit. And there was convos too, like wow, throughout the journey that we would talk about. That she would be like, yo, like how there was one time she literally asked me like, oh, like even with everything that's going on, the pain and all that, like how do you keep pushing forward? And I told her, I'm like, oh, like just something I'm really hungry for. And it's like I got you. I told her, I'm like, I got you. Like you're my biggest reason for going forward and shit. And like she looked out for me. And then there was times like I remember there was one time. To this day, it still eats me alive. Like I didn't think I was gonna include in this video, but it's like whatever. I remember there was one time like I was complaining about pain about my shoulder. At the time, like I didn't realize it, and it wasn't until after the fact that I'm like, damn, I was complaining about my pain, but mind you, she was in a greater pain than I was. I was younger. She was in a greater pain than I was, but she rarely ever complained about her pain, and I was there chatting about my shit. I'm like, damn. Now that I think about it, I was like, she was in more pain here. I'm talking about pain and shit. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just been 3 years. 3 years without my biggest motivator slash mentor slash supporter, and it's like it's just crazy, honestly. It's just crazy. I love it to death, Like I said, I'm gonna keep grinding on this YouTube stuff, this TikTok stuff, all this online personal training stuff like that. If this doesn't work out, I'm definitely gonna do a business. Some business I'm gonna guarantee that I'm gonna succeed with. And I'm gonna keep pushing forward because, like 50 said, get rich or die trying. Literally, I'm gonna keep going till I die, 100%. All gas, no brake. So it's like when I do die, God forbid it's not anytime soon, but whenever I do, I have the stories to talk with her since she's missed so much. But yeah, that was really the video for today. It was just that. So about 3 years without that. It sucks, I'm not gonna lie. I even took off from work today because I'm like, you know what? It's Monday. I'm not trying to deal with that. But yeah, besides that, fellas, if you guys are interested in one-on-one personal training, check the link in the description. And, for anybody that made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching, hearing this rant slash spiel. And yeah, if you have a loved one, go make sure you give them a hug. Go tell them that you love them. Go take pictures with them because that's something I wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to get too many pictures of my grandmother, and I wish I could hug her and say I love her a lot more. But fortunately, I can't. I gotta look up to the sky. But so if you have somebody there currently, go tell them you love them. Go give them a hug. Go take the pictures, and I promise you, they could be gone tomorrow and you wouldn't even know. So, that being said, fellas, I believe in all you guys. Stay sexy, get strong, get smarter, get money. Go grab what you deserve, like fellas.